When you think of IKEA, what comes to mind? Affordable furniture, meatballs, that one Allen wrench you can never seem to find again? IKEA is a household name, synonymous with stylish, budget-friendly home design. But behind the flat-packed furniture and those endless mazes of showrooms lies a story that's as tangled as the instruction manuals we all love to hate. Our story begins in 1926 in a small remote village in Sweden called Agunnaryd. This is where IKEA's founder, Ingvar Kamprad, was born. Ingvar was no ordinary child. By the age of 5, he was already selling matches to his neighbors. But young Ingvar wasn't just hawking matches for fun. He had a knack for spotting opportunities and profits. Ingvar discovered he could buy matches in bulk from Stockholm, sell them individually at a markup, and still keep them cheaper than the local competition. By the time he was a teenager, he was selling fish, pencils, and even Christmas decorations. He'd already built a small empire in his rural corner of Sweden. In 1943, at just 17 years old, Ingvar officially founded IKEA. The name was an acronym: Ingvar Kamprad, Elmtaryd, the name of his family farm, and Agunnaryd, his hometown. Initially, IKEA sold everything from wallets to watches. Furniture didn't enter the picture until 1948, but when it did, it changed everything. But here's where things get interesting, or shady, depending on how you look at it. While IKEA was revolutionizing the furniture industry with affordable, flat-packed designs, Ingvar Kamprad was hiding a dark secret. In 1994, Swedish journalists uncovered documents linking Kamprad to a pro-Nazi group during his youth. Kamprad himself admitted to joining a fascist organization in the 1940s, claiming it was the biggest mistake of his life. He even admitted to being close friends with the group's leader. Kamprad insisted that his involvement was a youthful mistake born out of ignorance. And while his political leanings at the time didn't stop IKEA's rise to global dominance, the revelation cast a shadow over the brand's wholesome image. Kamprad would later write a letter of apology to all IKEA employees, saying he deeply regretted his actions. Despite the controversy, IKEA's success skyrocketed. Ingvar Kamprad's knack for efficiency and cost-cutting was unmatched. Did you know that IKEA's famous flat-pack furniture was born out of frustration? In the 1950s, a worker removed the legs from a table so it would fit in a car, and Kamprad saw a revolutionary idea: sell furniture in pieces to save on shipping and storage costs. This idea wasn't just clever, it was genius. It allowed IKEA to cut prices and made furniture accessible to millions of people around the world. By 2020, IKEA had over 400 stores in 50 countries and was selling more than $40 billion worth of furniture annually. Ingvar Kamprad, despite his immense wealth, was famously frugal. He flew economy class, stayed in budget hotels, and even recycled tea bags. But while Kamprad's personal habits were humble, his business acumen was anything but. Today, IKEA's influence is undeniable. From college dorm rooms to suburban homes, their minimalist designs and flat-packed innovations have shaped how we furnish our lives. But behind the sleek blue and yellow branding lies a story of ambition, mistakes, and reinvention. So the next time you wander through those labyrinthine aisles, assembling a bookshelf piece by piece, remember the story behind the brand. IKEA isn't just about furniture. It's about the unlikely journey of a match-selling boy from a tiny Swedish village who built a global empire. And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder that even the most flat-packed lives can be built into something extraordinary. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more strange and fascinating history.